Welcome to the lounge and the European FX crosses, and starting with the US dollar index here. As you know, we've been looking for from wave 2 down to wave 1 down to wave 2 as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here, and that would be the mirror opposite for the Euro crosses. So moving over to the Euro crosses here, the Euro US dollar here, the same thing as well. We're looking from wave 1 to wave 2. We're looking for an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here. And yeah, within this structure here, it appears that we've got the A wave complete. We've got an A and a B. We're looking for a C wave with a move down here for wave B, and then 5 waves up for wave C here. This is the 50-60% retracement level area here. But what will be more important, we'll be looking for 5 waves within the structure. Okay, that's how we'll get our target. Wave C should have some sort of equality to wave A here. On the 15-minute chart here, just so this is the 50-60% sort of retracement area here, and looking this move to here, we could pretty much sort of grab that. Oops. Put that here. So we could be looking lower than expected here. So now we can start looking at this in a bit more detail. So we've got, you know, we've got this area, we've got this area, we've got this trend line. But once again, you know, it's more important about the 5 waves within this structure here. Okay, so that's what we'll be sort of looking at in the short term here. Wave C should have 5 waves in it, but I wouldn't hold my breath. I wouldn't really even get involved in any of this move up here. Sure, but you know, as you can see, you know, wave C is not going to be a strong move, so it's going to have overlapping wave structures. It should be, in fact, it should be lazier than, if I can just move this out here, it should be lazier than wave A here. Okay, so wave A is normally the sharp, strong move, and wave C is nice and lazy there. So we'll see. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We can throw ideas around, but yeah, we'll be looking for 5 waves up here, but a bit of a pullback in here first. Right, so I'm just going to save that. But I also want to talk about too something else, because I talked about yesterday about a bullish count for the euro, but I don't think that's the case now. It might have been on the daily chart, or it might have been on a 6-hour chart from memory. Let me just double check here. Yeah, I talked about this bullish count here, which is kind of, you know, okay in a way, because really we have this nice A wave, B wave and 5 waves for a C wave. So, you know, technically, until this low is taken out here, or we can prove that we have a corrective move in here, because we've only got 5 waves up here so far, so I can't prove that it's corrective. Do you know what I mean? So it's important. But what we've seen on the S&P 500, so with the S&P 500, if I can just draw this out a little bit, the S&P 500 on a daily chart has come all the way down, so to speak, and we were looking for, you know, a move back up to the sort of in a particular fashion, and then 5 waves down here. So this 5 waves down here as a larger A, B and C here. And while this is moving down here, it was possible that this market could move up here in that. But that doesn't appear to be the case anymore. So it does appear that we can put the S&P 500, we can actually put wave 4 low in place now for the S&P 500 and start looking for new highs above its previous 3rd wave over here. Okay, so I don't think this is such a big concern now. It was just something that I noticed, and you know, I got we use the video report here to, to talk about things, and I felt like it was important to talk about. So it's not off the table totally just yet, but it's probable that it is off the table. So anyway, I'll just leave this here for the time being, but our basic count now is still this count here for the euro. So looking for a nice, this wave structure coming down here. We caught a lot of this here, but we really want to catch the third wave. This is the one that we want to catch here. So it's going to be important. Now, even if we have trouble with wave 2 here, it is important that you short this low here, okay? No matter what happens here, you just don't want to miss that. So don't get too iffy about it and panic and all the rest of it. I mean, the most important thing is to have a very small amount on the break of that there. That's the important point here. So I'm just going to put that in there. So and this will come down to parity. So this will be probably further down through here as well. It won't be, the third wave will probably be longer than, I mean, obviously that's not going to go, wave 2 I don't think will go all the way back up there as such, but yeah, anyway, get the idea. I'll just get rid of some of these, don't need these, but a long haul here. I mean, normally when something comes down to parity, we can start looking below it as well here. Probably a bit more like this, really. Anyway, I'll get the ratio sorted out on that, but that's what we're looking at there. So the main thing is, that we have to short this here. And it's interesting having this trend line in here, isn't it? Because this, it's very typical when a market comes through a trend line, that, especially one that's been like this here, when the market comes through, you can normally see 2 tests. You get the first one, it can just have one and go, but in a lot of cases it will have a second test here, and that's what we're actually looking for now, because we've had our first one and we're looking for the second test here. So this line, if you want to refine this on a smaller chart, will be very helpful to nail that wave 2 in place there. All right, just moving on from that, the euro pound, this is good now, because we'd been counting 5 waves down here. It got a bit sort of messy down here, but even from wave 4 here, we could look at this as wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A bit dodgy, but it doesn't really matter. What we're actually looking for here is, as like I've probably mentioned before, is we need to see some sort of correction here, something bigger than that one and bigger than that one there. We need to see some type of correction here so we can short it. And yes, it can go all the way back up here, but probably unlikely, but let's just work through it. We've just been waiting for it to occur, and it does appear that it's working off these current lows now, so that's good. Let's just see what we get in this space. We're not going to be interested in trading any of this, but once it's complete, then we'll look at trading. And there should be a good trade, really, because the euro is the weakest and the pound is one of the strongest against the dollar and all the rest of it. So this whole wave 1 here, when we get over to wave 3 is going to be longer than wave 1 here. So I mean, I think that's pretty exciting when you think about it, but to stay in a trend like that takes a bit of thinking. It takes a lot of thinking and practice as well, and courage. Next market is the euro yen. Oops, I missed on doing this one today. I haven't updated it, but basically there's 5 waves in this little area down through here, and like the other euros, we'll see this rally here. So we're looking for a rally here. So I won't go into it at the moment, and as I can see from the chart that I've left here before, I've got 2 pathways for this to take. This is the probable one here. But even so, if that is the case here, we'd still be looking for an ABC correction, just like we were looking as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave into this space here. And that hasn't fully developed just yet, but once it has done, we should see it roll over. And once again, we can use this trend line here to, as resistance once it's there to pick up the short trade from here. So nothing there just yet either. The cable here now, this whole structure that's coming up here, I know that it's corrective. I just don't know how complicated it's going to get. That's all. I know that we're up at our 50-60% retracement level up here, so that's important. So it shouldn't go too far past this number. I always find the 56 a very strong and important number. I don't know why that is, but it always plays a strong part. So if it does move up to that area, then that's the number that we'll be looking for. So yeah, look, I just don't know how this is going to resolve here. I know on the charts that we've put on the website, we've got this as a triangle pattern, but triangles don't normally occur in wave 2, so I'm a bit sort of reluctant about that in this particular instance here. But yeah, I mean, the main point here is we can expect this market to move back into this box here, okay? So the 50-60% retracement level, so expect it to come down further. Let's just have a look at it. We'll update it on the London opening to see what it looks like at that point there. But it could be that we've got the A wave to here, the B wave to here, and the C wave to here, and it's finished and it moves down through here. But I think it's important to wait for the US dollar index, because with the US dollar index, as pointed out before here, if I come back to it for a moment, we need to go through that B wave. So while this is moving up here, the cable's moving to the downside, and when this comes here, then the cable will be moving to the upside, and then when this comes here, then it'll be reversed. So I don't think, whatever happens, we won't be shorting the cable until this has come into play here, okay? So really, this would be the mirror opposite for, that's why that triangle was drawn in there. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's the right thing, but it's just the way that it's labeled. So, yeah, so, all in all here, we can get a move down to here, a move up into 56 here, and then a short down through to here. So I just think we should leave it for the time being, unless you want to sort of, scalp in here. Well, then there's a scalp down to here at that point. The pound yen here, we're looking for a top here, but I also wouldn't worry about it as well. I don't particularly want to trade against the trend until the US dollar index has completed its wave 2. So I think that we leave this as well. However, that said, if the 185 becomes the retested resistance, then we can look to short at that point, okay? So we need to be confident that it's done. This little structure here, if you can work out 5 waves in here, that's fine. It still seems 1 wave short here, so it's possible that we could just move down to this area here, have 1 more little high here, and then move down through here. Once again, I think waiting for the US dollar index to do its thing as well. So anyway, they're the things. We'll leave it alone until the 185 is the retested resistance, or we get 1 more move up here in line with the US dollar index finishing wave 2. The US dollar yen, sorry, I missed this yesterday. Apologies about that. But yeah, I think there's a long trade here, but take it with caution. So we're looking at basically wave 1 and 2. and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for wave 3, all pretty comfortable. Pretty big wave 4, I have to say, though. There's an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here, but the direction is up. Yeah, so not a lot of confidence in it, but if you're looking for a direction on this, then just be mindful how it moves up. But it is moving up quite, I'll just chuck to a 5-minute chart here from this low here. It is moving up quite nicely, you know, in terms of everything. So nice structures moving up here. I mean, this big pattern here, this A, B, and C pattern here is the same as this one here, it's just smaller. So this high will be taken out here. So we can still look for higher ground to occur here. So it is moving up and doing all the right things. So yeah, it's just a shame I didn't get it yesterday, because we would have been, you know, closer to getting this situation occurring here, noting these waves here, or even anywhere else on this. But yeah. All right, well that's that. Okay, cheers.